What's your name? What's your name? Try and say it. What's your name?
Shelley.
Try and say it. You can't.
You not talk?
How do you try? How do you can't?
It's not good, is it?
Have you enjoyed that so far, that little clip? We'll keep watching because this week's video is talking about some important tips for both street hypnotists and hypnotherapists. Yes, you heard me right. You can learn about hypnotherapy from watching this skit. So keep watching and find out what I mean. Hi guys, it's Turan here from Feel Good Hypnosis, and well, the last time I made an intro like this here, I said it's getting a bit cold and I'll probably be shooting indoors from now on, but it's the 12th of November, so halfway through November. It's a bit mild, but it's a nice day here. You can see the trees are all bare of their leaves. The leaves are all over the grass and the ground there, so it's nearly time to get in. I've said that before, I'll probably say it again, but I'm shooting outdoors because it's nice to get out in some fresh air. That's health tip number one. Not that we're here to listen to health tips, you want to hear and see some street hypnosis. But as I said in the introduction, this is nice bit of street hypnosis, but the lessons you learn from watching this clip will help if you're a hypnotherapist, or if you're even thinking of becoming a client for a hypnotherapist. What's the benefits of going to someone like myself that has that skill and expertise in street hypnosis? So let's watch the clip. It's a fun little clip. I'll put the induction that I did of that lady in the little info bar up above, so click on that and you can find the induction where she was placed in that hypnotic state. But this time round we're going into the second skit of a series of skits I did with this lady, and this is name amnesia. This is making her forget her name. So let's watch the clip, but stay tuned. I really want you to stay tuned. I look at the analytics on YouTube and I see some people just watch the fun stuff and then disappear off, but there's some lovely lessons to be learned. What's happening in this skit and what can we learn from this skit, whether we're doing street hypnosis, whether we're participating in street hypnosis. There's lots of lessons to be learned, so please do keep watching. If you like this video, then please give it a thumbs up, make sure you give it a like, and don't forget to click the big red subscribe button so you get notified. Click the bell notification button next to that subscribe button. And if you have any questions, have any comments about this video, please do leave them in the comment section below. I love responding to your comments, I love hearing your comments, giving feedback, and some really good questions are asked from time to time, so please do make sure you ask your questions in that comment section below. But in the meantime, let's watch the video. In a minute, we're going to count from 1 to 3, and this time in the count of 3, your feet will no longer be stuck. But your feet will only become unstuck, only as quickly as your name sticks to the back of your mind. Only as quickly as your name sticks to the back of your mind. You know what it's like when you can't remember a name. You say, I know that person's name, but I just cannot say it. And the harder you try to say that name just locks and sticks to the back of your mind. Nod your head that you understand. So 1, 2, 3, open your eyes. How you feel now? Just make sure you can move your feet. Wasn't that cool? Yeah. and like I say, I've got a terrible head for names, and your name is? Do you know these folks here?
Yes.
Even if you hear it, you can't say it. What's your name? What's your name? Try and say it. What's your name?
Shelley.
Try and say it, you can't.
You not talk?
How do you try? How do you can't?
It's not good, is it?
Tell me this. You know your surname. You can say your surname. Your surname is?
Jill.
And your first name, when you can't try and say it? How do you try? The harder it sticks. Tell you what, when you sing your name in rhyme, you can say your name. So sing the birthday song. Go on, you can do it.
Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday, dear Shelley. Happy birthday to me.
And it's gone again. What's your name? How do you try the harder it sticks? What's your name? Tell you, when I tap you in the forehead, your name is Bob. What's your name?
Bob.
How do you do, Bob?
I'm alright.
Good stuff. And who named you Bob? Your mum or your dad? Can you remember? Did they ever tell you?
I don't know.
You don't know? And how do you spell that? How do you spell what?
B-O-B.
B-O-B. Do you have any ID on you just to check that's your name? Is there your driver's license or an ID and credit card?
Bank card.
Bank card.
I don't know.
There you go. That's your bank card?
Yep.
What's the name written on it?
Michelle.
What's your name? What's your name? Bob. B-O-B. What's your name?
Bob.
This is your bank card?
Yes.
And what's that name?
Michelle.
And what's your name?
Shelley.
What's your name? Bob. That's right. What's your name?
Bob.
How do you do, Bob? Put your card back in the card. Look at me and sleep way down, sleep way down, deeper, relax. The deeper you go, the more relaxed you feel. So welcome back. What did you think of that? That was good fun. So let's break that down. So first of all, what I'm doing when she has her eyes closed is giving her some hypnotic suggestions. Now, people see this as sort of deep trance, but depth is a funny thing. It's hard to tell when and at what depth anyone's at. Just because they have their eyes closed doesn't mean that's the only time you can make suggestions, and that's the only time when they're in a deep trance to accept suggestions. So, you know, that's lesson number one, is that, as I'll describe here, as you've seen there, suggestions can be made at any time. But right in that moment at the start of the video, she has her eyes closed, and that's nice to make sure that she's not distracted by anything that's going on around her. But that shouldn't overly matter because, well, she's in hypnosis already, as you might have seen from the induction from the other video. So she's got her eyes closed, and I'm saying your name is stuck to the back of your mind. It's locked and stuck. So there's in itself 2 or 3 suggestions. I always say about this here that when you're giving a hypnotic suggestion, you want to give it from 2 or 3 different angles, because I don't know which one is most acceptable for this person. I've only met her. I've just bumped into her in the Castle Mall in Antrim, and, well, part of a show. I just wasn't walking by and stopped her, but I hypnotized her without any prior knowledge of her or any discussion with her, so I don't know what way she's going to accept it. So I want to layer in as many different suggestions as possible to get to that name amnesia as I can. So I'm saying your name is locked, your name is stuck, and I'm getting her to remember a time she forgot. Isn't that a funny phrase? So I'm saying remember a time when you forgot someone's name. So that's in itself is helping the name amnesia by getting her to imagine a time when she forgot something. So then I say 1, 2, 3, wide awake, and she opens her eyes, and I say, what's your name? Again, I go through the preliminary because in the previous video I'd stuck her feet to the floor, and I had actually anchored, I'd connected that suggestion to this suggestion. Your feet will only become unstuck only as quickly as your name becomes stuck. So I want to make sure that her feet aren't stuck, because that might suggest that, well, if she still feels her feet are stuck, she'll probably not accept the next suggestion. So it's a checking out that right away. But anyway, we move on to the name stick, and I say to her, you know, what's your name when you try and say it? Again, the word try implies failure, so putting that little, you know, segue of try and say it is a powerful way of suggesting that it's not going to work. But really, I'm just looking at her puzzled, and she can't say it. Now, everyone reacts differently. This is why you've got to calibrate your person in the moment. That's, again, whether you're in hypnotherapy or in street hypnosis or even stage hypnosis, you need to calibrate the person in front of you and understand the way they're operating, the way they're thinking. So in this case, when she can't say her name because her name's stuck, the name itself is stuck, but her muscle memory, the way, you know, she's pronouncing it, she's trying to say Shelley, which is her name, you know, she's mouthing it out, but she can't get it out of her mouth. So beautiful in the way that she just does it the way she wants to do. Shows you that I'm not in control of what's happening. She's controlling the way she accepted that suggestion. Now, she was with some friends, some family off camera, and I don't know whether they're friends or family, so you just confirmed you're with this lady here. And one suggestion I didn't make when her eyes were closed was, even if you hear your name, you won't be able to say it. I just want to make sure I layer that in. Now, the chances are if it's locked and stuck, even if she did hear it, she wouldn't be able to say it without me giving that additional suggestion. But that is not an accidental comment. I'm layering in that suggestion as well to make sure that even when she hears it, she can't say it. I get her friends to call her the name, Shelley, and she still is, you know, totally confused. She cannot say her name, and you know, there's great laughter all around at that point. It's a you know, it's a good skit to run. So I want to move that on to the next level. So next I say, well, you know your surname. You can say your surname. Now I'm not telling her you can say your surname. That phrasing in itself is a hypnotic suggestion, because I've just told her she cannot say her name. Now her name comprises your first name, your middle name, your last name, and any other names in between those three. So what I'm doing is giving a fresh hypnotic suggestion. Again, I did not put her back into that eyes closed state. You don't need to be in the eyes closed state to accept additional suggestions. So I'm telling her now, well, you can remember your surname. What's your surname? And she can say that beautifully. But I say, but your first name's gone, and I remind her that her first name is gone. Now, interestingly enough, as time goes on, because she's trying, so she knows at some level what her name is, but she can't say it. Because if you listen carefully, rather than just going, which is mouthing her name, she starts to go shh, shh. So the S's are starting to come out. So it's trying to get out, but it doesn't come out. Again, following my suggestions, you cannot say your name. So she can mouth it, she can almost hit the first syllable of it, but she can't say it. So all the way through I'm going, but it's gone. I'm just reminding her. I'm just reinforcing that all the time. And again, this is something, again, whether you're doing street hypnosis or therapeutic work, you want to make sure you layer in and remind and reinforce the suggestion as you go along. It would be great if we could just say things once and it would accept, and that might be the case. Maybe in 2 out of 10, maybe 4 out of 10 people, just saying it once will do. But we don't know how the mind accepts suggestions. We don't know how well it's listening, so we want to repeat them several times. So again, that's an important point in any area of hypnosis. I move on to another eyes open suggestion. I says you can say it in rhyme. Okay, none of this was connected to your name will be locked and stuck. I'm giving a new suggestion which is, you know, totally different to that, saying you can say it when you sing it in rhyme. And my favourite thing to do is get them to sing the birthday song. It's the best song for saying your name in rhyme. So when you say your name in rhyme, you will be able to say it. And she sings the birthday song, and bang, Shelley comes out beautifully. But as soon as she stops saying it, I say, but it's gone now. What's your name? Once again, I want to stack the deck and give her that little extra suggestion that it's gone. Probably didn't need it, but it's nice to make sure, and it just fills up the space, and it's adds level to the entertainment side of things, just to remind people, if anybody's joined in between as they're walking past, exactly what the suggestion is. So it doesn't hurt just to repeat that suggestion, and it's gone now when you try and say it. Once again, she can't say it. And she's a great star at this stage. She's coming off with the s, but she can't say the whole name. Now, I'm emphasizing again and again that suggestions are being made with your eyes open and not in that eyes closed state. Remember, let's take for instance a fear of dogs, or maybe a fear of spiders as a therapeutic, intervention. When you received that fear, when someone with a fear of dogs or fear of spiders or any fear at all, or any anxiety, any issue at all, when they give themselves a suggestion that you will be afraid of dogs, they didn't do it with their eyes closed. They probably saw a dog, they were startled, and they told themselves, oh, stay away from that. Give me bad feelings inside every time I see a dog. That was all done in a millisecond while they were wide awake and looking at a dog. So it's not about eye closure. And that in itself is them hypnotizing themselves to be afraid of a dog. It's giving themselves a suggestion. This is all hypnosis, whether I give someone a suggestion or they give themselves a suggestion. And it works beautifully with the eyes open as well. So again, she's going on so well, I just move the skit on to the next level. And I say, your name's going to come back to you, but your name is Bob. Now, I'm tapping on the forehead. Is that necessary? No, it's just dramatic. I can just say it, but it's nice to just give her a little sort of anchor point to your name is Bob. And when I say, what's your name? She's Bob. And look at her expression, look at her face. She doesn't question it at all within herself. When I say, what's your name? She's Bob. So, again, look how powerful that was. And again, eyes open suggestion. So this is where things maybe go, sideways to where I'd planned them to go. Once I got her to say her name was Bob, I want her to get some ID, look at the ID and go, what's it say? Shelley, is that your card? Yes. What's your name? Bob. Okay, so that was my outline plan. But she looks at her name and says, what's that there? Shelley or Michelle. And I said, what's your name? And she goes, Shelley. So, oh dear, it's terrible. It failed. I mean, she's looking at her name. I'm not controlling her to say it's only Bob. I've given her suggestion, but seeing that name and knowing that that's her card has brought that to mind. But I don't panic. I don't go, oh, this is terrible, it's failed. Because failure's good. It gives me feedback that she's in control. It gives me feedback that, well, I just need to do something different. Once again, this is an important lesson for hypnotherapists, is looking for feedback, making sure, testing the situation, is the suggestion that you've given working? If it's not, you need to reinforce it. So I stay calm and just go, your name's Bob, and remind her name's Bob. And I say, what's your name? She goes, Bob. So it's not about things working every time. Yes, it's beautiful when that happens, but I never mind this, because number one, the audience didn't sort of go, oh, she went sss when the S came out at the beginning of her name. The audience didn't go ooh and groan when she said her name again. They were almost maybe relieved that it hadn't disappeared forever, and this sort of thing is never going to disappear forever. Why? Because when someone comes to me to get rid of an anxiety, a fear, a phobia, they want to get rid of it. There's no, I want to hang on to that phobia a wee bit. Nobody wants to hang on to a phobia, but they do want to hang on to their name. So in this situation, I've given them an experience, but they would not be happy and they would not want it to happen. And because their conscious mind knows this is just a bit of fun in a busy shopping mall, they're happy enough to let it go for that time, but it's not going to disappear forever. Hope that makes sense. So just to summarize for the therapeutic side of things, again, I'm telling brand new hypnotherapists that they should go out on the streets and do some street hypnosis. Why? Because when you go out and do some street hypnosis, you get very quick feedback. When you're overcoming an anxiety, when you're overcoming depression, it might take days, it might take weeks for that suggestion to really sink in and for them to feel the difference. And measuring that feedback can be hard to learn the art of testing and gaining feedback and looking out for calibration of how people are suggesting things. In street hypnosis, it's very fast. You learn on your feet. You get street smart by the very nature of doing street hypnosis. So that's one of the key reasons for doing street hypnosis, to learn the art of hypnosis. Hypnotherapy is two parts. Number one, it's getting someone into hypnosis. Number two, it's providing therapy in that state. And the hypnotherapy, as you see, needs to be repeated, needs to be folded in. That's why sometimes you might need several sessions. You might need to repeat the same thing within a couple of sessions before moving on to other techniques to really reinforce all the changes that are happening. That's a common question for me and for many hypnotherapists. Well, how many sessions will it take? I don't know, because we need to work with you, the individual, and understand how you accept suggestions and how we can reinforce and make sure those suggestions stay, because we're not going to make your name just disappear for a short period of time. We're going to make that anxiety disappear forever. So the other thing it really tells us is that it's a combined effort between the hypnotist and the person you're hypnotizing, whether it's the client in a therapeutic session or whether it's the subject on the street when you're just doing some street hypnosis, or even the person on the stage if you're doing stage hypnosis. It's about teamwork. It's about working together, having that connection. With all best intentions and all best plans, you might plan one thing like the Bob and pointing out the credit card. If it doesn't work, it's not that I didn't do it right. It's not that they weren't listening correctly. It's just the teamwork of my communications being synchronized with their understandings to make it work together. So again, another reason why sometimes, we need to several goes at it, and that's not bad. As you saw in that skit, hopefully you agree, it flowed beautifully, it flowed perfectly, and the people watching didn't feel any disappointment. It was a good laugh, and they remembered the majority of what was going well, and they don't labour on any issues or any deviations from plan, particularly because most of the time they don't know what the plan was, so they can't complain that it didn't go the way it was supposed to. So thanks for watching this video. I hope you got some good information out of it. If you're a hypnotherapist, I hope you got some good ideas. get yourself out there, do some of this fun street hypnosis. It will really sharpen your skills as a hypnotherapist. And likewise, if you're a street hypnotist, well, hopefully again you'll learn some important tips about don't worry about it going wrong. So many people don't start this stuff because, oh, what happens if it doesn't go right? It's not always going to go right, because not because you're a bad hypnotist, not because they're a bad client, because, well, it's just a mix of getting communications. And the only way to learn that quickly and efficiently is through doing lots of hypnosis, and street hypnosis is a great way of getting that. So whether you're a hypnotherapist or a street hypnotist or even a stage hypnotist, I hope there was good, valuable lessons in all of that for you. So make sure you give it a thumbs up, make sure you give it a like, and don't forget to click the big red subscribe button and the bell notification button so you get notified when there's a new video coming out from myself and Feel Good Hypnosis. And if you have any comments, please leave them in the comment section below. I really want to hear from you. I want to find out what you like, what you didn't like. Make sure it's positive, but put it in the comment section below. And if you're a hypnotherapist and you want to learn more about being a hypnotherapist and growing a hypnotherapy business, myself and Sheila Granger run a beautiful private hypnosis growth club, and I'd love to see you joining that and gaining more knowledge and experience. And there's great teamwork in working together, and it's covered by hypnotherapists from all over the world, from Australia, from Belgium, from the UK, all over the world, from the US, from Canada, etc. So please consider, if you're a hypnotherapist, joining me in that group. Contact me for details, and all the contact information is in the description section below. In the meantime, as always, I release a new video every Sunday, so stay tuned to find out if next Sunday is going to be outside in the nice cool air, or is it going to be inside where it's getting a bit warmer as the nights get a bit darker here in Northern Ireland. Anyway, you didn't join in for the weather forecast, so that's me for today. See you next week.